Oh, I didn't see you come in. My name's Sanjian. I am a godless, soulless clone of Iandestructible. And what we have here today is a Zelda game came out not too long ago. A game came out recently, as you may have heard, Zelda Breath of the Wild. And contrary to what you might think, the thing about this game is now before this game fades into obscurity, as Zelda games are wont to do, I'd like to pay homage to it the only way that I know how, and that's to make a dish, but it won't be in a dish. It'll be more of in a bowl. But we use the term dish. We don't say I'm gonna make you a bowl, or say I'm gonna prep something. It's like you don't say that. And that's part of the journey you're gonna come on. You're gonna learn a lot of this cooking terminology. And terminology is another word that means like the way people in a certain context, the words they use. And you're gonna come with me on a ride, and we're gonna have a good time. I'm gonna make a dish. One of the most important things I tell people when they're starting to get into cooking, I'm like, you don't have to cook. It's not something anybody you don't have to do this. If this isn't for you, why are you here? If you don't feel the passion, I always say, you put your heart next to the oven, and if your heart isn't of equal or less heat or greater heat, then you need to reevaluate whether you're in this or not. People run around cooking for fun and leisure. It's fucking bullshit. Make sure your heart's in it. Do the stove test, as we in the biz call it. If you're burning like a raging inferno, then maybe you have what it takes to come with me on this journey. Alright, so we're gonna have fun. We're gonna have a good time. Do you want to get started? That's a great place to start. So you're gonna want to have the right clothes, or as we in the biz call them, accoutrements. A word which here means ingredients, but not here. It means, in this context, terminology, it means clothes. And you're going to want to be dressed like a proper chef and not like a busboy or some shit. So anyways, you're going to want to also have your pick-me-ups, as I call them, your spices. Your spices are going to be things that when you're getting demoralized in the midst of cooking are going to keep you in the game. Good habit. And caffeine, you're going to want to pound gratuitous amounts of caffeine. It needs to go in. Once, and that's going to keep us in it, because you're not, so anyways, first things first, you're going to want to get your, what I call the materials that aren't to pick you up, they're to pick the dish up. The dish. It's not in a fucking dish though. You got what you need. We're gonna make Broth of the Wild. The funny thing about broth is a lot of people, they come up to me on the street and they're like, I'm gonna make broth. And the thing you gotta remember about broth is it's a liquid. A lot of people don't know that. They're like, oh, I'm gonna make a peanut butter and broth sandwich. Kids are gonna eat good tonight. And I'm like, you can't. Broth won't. It's got, I hope your sandwich has some very absorbent bread, is what I tell them. Because you need water. That one you can't get from anywhere. That one, thanks God. Next thing you want to get is what we call a banana. If you please, Breath of the Wild. You know that bananas are a covetous item in Breath of the Wild. They're mighty bananas, as they're called there, and they give you an attack boost. Here we don't have mighty bananas. We have Beauty and the Beast bananas, and it's real important if we can get a zoom on that. You're gonna want to get the ones with Ewan McGregor on them. because Ewan McGregor, he's the guy who wrote that No Doubt song about bananas. Shit's bananas, P. You know, and they spell bananas. Pro tip, a lot of people think you can just hand peel a banana. That's actually not. It's incredibly unsafe. You don't want to use a banana opener. These are specifically designed to open bananas. There's a lot of different spellings of bananas, and one of the unofficial, non-canon ways of spelling bananas is C-A-N. So you're gonna want to look for C-A-N opener, and that's just another way of saying banana opener. And you're gonna wrench it in there, and you're just gonna squeeze it. You're just gonna squeeze a generous amount of force. The bananas bruise easy, but they're tough little fuckers. Then you got your banana, and you don't want to drop it. You don't want to plop it in the water. You're gonna have fucking splash zone on it. Shit. You don't want to plop it. You don't want to plop it in. I don't know if you've ever been to SeaWorld, and they have the you don't get too much shampoo, you'll get wet, and you don't want to stay out of the splash zone, and you don't want to plop it in. You want to Hakeem. You want to Hakeem it in there. Hakeem was a basketball player. Hakeem Olajuwon, which is another way of spelling banana. One thing about this, we don't want kids to eat it, so we're gonna want to throw that in there. Now kids can't have it. You got an ID. So the second thing, salt. A lot of people say salt indiscriminately goes on everything. Those people are correct. Let me get deep in here. Next thing we're gonna want is next thing is honey. A wise man once said, make sure it comes in a bear. So you're gonna want to make sure it's in a bear, and you're just gonna eke some of that out. Just enough, just like one cigarette's worth, like just enough to cover the whole cigarette, and that should be enough. That's actually one of the most common units of measurement is cigarette. I almost forgot. The key ingredient, key limes. And if you've played Breath of the Wild, you know that of all the Zelda games, it's got the most small keys in it. It's got those Zelda games always have keys. There's a lot of keys in Breath of the Wild. There's a ton. Key limes you're gonna want to open with. It's funny because you can open them with the banana opener. Banana openers got multiple uses. Who'd have thunk? And you're just gonna squeeze that over your broth until juice comes out, and maybe some seeds too, and just do it. Just give it a squash and just mash it in there. This next one's fun. I'm gonna go out into the garden, come back with something fresh. You hang tight right here, camera boy. I just picked some fresh greenery from the garden, and we're just gonna put a tomato in here. You say tomato, I say taco. Taco, tomato. Let's make some broth. It's like that old song. Here's our setup, and I know it looks like you can eat it right now. I know it looks delicious and you just want to dig in right now, but we're gonna show some restraint, and we're gonna apply some heat. And I'm just gonna chop up some cloves over here. Don't mind me. You're gonna want to have a really sharp knife when you chop. Oh, Jesus. Don't. Oh, that's called adding a little bit of yourself to the mix, which in the cooking biz is okay to do. I don't know if you're taking the food handlers test, but it's okay to add a little bit of yourself to the mix if you have to. So that's what I just did, a little bit of myself. So now we have that going there, and best way to stir that is with one of these guys. It's a great stirring utensil. And you're just gonna do that. You can already smell how good it is. Look at that. Who would have thought a random assortment of ingredients could be so delectable? And much like Link on his adventures, sometimes you never know. You never know how things that are mixed together are gonna come together in a way that can help you on your adventure. Thanks for coming. It's basically done. We just wait now for it to finish cooking. Now it's the sum of its parts. This is Broth of the Wild. Thanks, Miyamoto-san. Come back next time when I make a Mass Effect Andromeda. It'll be a couple years. It'll be a couple years. I gotta find a way to fuck it up. Why isn't Evanescence playing the whole time?